come down the back straightaway into turn number 3, looking to pick up the pace this time by, and Thurston is the car that sets the pace. Jan Stevens waves the green. Lashaway goes off into the early race lead with car number 45 as he moves to the low side of the racetrack. Here comes Beef Alexander to the high side in car number 44. And Beef takes over the number 1 spot. As they head off the turn, he'll come around the lead lap number 1. Here comes Rick DeRozier to the high side of Lashaway, and he's got position number 2. Here comes Kirk Alexander now moving up in car 44X. Lauren Lorenzetti hanging back in the 5th spot, and we've got a battle for position number 3. Here comes Kirk Alexander up to the high side of Rick DeRosa. As they head off the turn down to the line, it's Kirk Alexander with the advantage. So the Alexanders now run 1 and 2 as they head down the back straightaway. Halfway marker is out this time around, and it's going to be Beef Alexander, Kirk Alexander, and the car number 2 of Rick DeRosa. Go up on the scoreboard, and we've got a lead change. Into the number 1 spot goes Kirk Alexander, dropping Beef back into the number 2 spot. Here comes Rick DeRozier now, moving in on Beef Alexander. We've got 2 laps to go. As it turns out, the distance for this event will be 6 laps. Here they come off turn number 4. Kirk leads Beef, and Rick DeRozier now looking to move in. Here they come. Checkered flag is in the air, and it is Beef Alexander with the win. Correction, Kirk Alexander. Beef finishes in the number 2 spot, with DeRozier in 3rd. So that's Kirk Alexander with the win. Stock champion. The 22 is a new arriver. We have no information as to who's driving car number 22. As soon as we do, we will pass that on to you. And car number 4, Alan Nanaki, rounds out the field. Green flag is out. They come down to the line. It's Gail Lavoie taking the initial advantage. Chris Wenzel goes right to Lavoie's back bumper, looking to move back into contend. As they come off the turn, Lavoie extends the advantage. Alan Nanaki drops into the infield with car number 4, and we've got a battle for the 4th spot. As now Art Goodhine will take the position with car number 3, RD. Here comes that car number 22 down low, and he's got position number 5. Fred Felton moves in, and he's got the 6th spot. It's Gail Lavoie leading him down the front straightaway with car number 66. Wenzel has put quite a bit of distance between himself and the number 60 car of Krajewski. Here comes Goodhine. Goodhine goes way up high off the turn as he looks to move in on Krajewski. Turn. Lavoie leads with 2 laps to go as Wenzel now runs in the 2nd spot. Battle for 3rd on the racing surface. They come off the turn, white flag in the air. Gail Lavoie about to take the heat win if she can hold off the challenge of Wenzel, who's now moving up to contend. Checkered flag is in the air. It's Lavoie with the win.
It's a birthday wish.
Okay.
You know, anytime.
The Strictly Stocks, qualifying heat number 1. Keep your eye on the 37M, the car that sets the pace. Walt Pachowski off the turn. Green flag is out. It's Pachowski with the initial lead, but Burgess is running strong on the high side of the racetrack. Pachowski goes deep into turn 3. Burgess goes high. Here comes Meany down low. Glenbrio up to the 4th spot. Pachowski third tracks it off the 2nd turn, and Burgess moves back into contend. As they head off the turn, Pachowski leads them for lap number 2. Here comes Meany down low on Burgess. Burgess heads back to the high side of Pachowski as they head off of turn number 2. Sumner Chapman moving up well with a 144 Connecticut. And here comes Burgess up high on the 37M of Pachowski. Down into turn number 1, it is Burgess with the spot. They make contact. Pachowski looking to move back in as we now have approached the halfway point. Halfway in this qualifying round, Pachowski moves back in off the turn. Contact between Pachowski and Meany. Pachowski gets sideways down the back straightaway, and Burgess takes over the number 1 spot. 5 laps complete. Sumner Chapman has moved up into position number 5 with the 44 Connecticut. Renumbered 144 Connecticut for this afternoon's competition. As we now have 2 laps to go. Glenbrio moves into the 3rd spot, and he now looks to challenge Pachowski for position number 2. Here they come. White flag is out for Burgess as that battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th continues. Sumner Chapman moving up again with car 144 Connecticut to challenge Meany for that 4th position as Stymus runs in 6th. Here they come. Checkered flag is in the air. It's Burgess with the win. Strictly Stock qualifying heat number 1. The 4X of Ron Burgess takes down the victory to the outside of the 3rd row. The 28 Mass of Scooter Adams and the 24 of Phil Hasbrook will round out the field. Here they come. Mallet sets the pace as they go down into the 3rd turn. Kenny Isimone looks the field over, and off the turn, we've got a green. Mallet has the lead as they go down into turn number 1. Prue drifts up just a bit. And that opens up the door to the 32 of Cook as Prue tags the wall down the back straightaway. Drew moves into the 3rd spot. Off the turn, we've got a lap complete, and it's number 97 of Mallet with the number 1 spot as they go down the back straightaway. He begins to pull away from Cookie Cook. Off the turn, Cookie Cook gets crossed up and opens up the door to the number 17 of Drew, who now moves into position number 2. Tom Curley looking to move to the inside of the number 17X. They make a little contact as they come off the turn as Prue gets out of shape. They're 3 wide into turn number 1. Mallet continues to have a very big lead over Stephen Drew and Cookie Cook, who's running in the 3rd spot. Tom Curley has moved into 4th. With that 3-car battle for the 5th spot continuing as now Scooter Adams is looking to move up. The number 17X puts the pedal to the metal as he heads to the inside of Kevin Prue. They dirt tracked it through turns 3 and 4, and Scooter Adams comes out with the spot in car 28 Mass. 2 laps to go this time by for Mallet as Kevin Prue spins down through the infield with car 203. White flag is out, this time by from Mallet. Here they come off the turn. John Mallet with the win in the 97. Heading into turn number 3, Rick Payne sets the pace in car 29. Kenyon on the high side. Off the turn they come. Billy Dunn waves the green. It's Kenyon with the advantage as they go through turn 22. Here comes Marquis up high on Payne. He moves by with ease, and now Brett Rollins is looking to move into contend as they head off of turn number 4. Kenyon leads lap number 1 with Marquis right behind him. Here comes Rollins to the high side of Payne. And Rollins has taken over the 3rd spot. Payne tries to hold on down low, but here comes Funky Karen. As we now have a lead change on lap number 2, it's Marquis moving into the spot. With car 28X, he'll lead him down the back straightaway, and we've got trouble. Around goes Payne off the turn. He spins down for the infield. A tough break for the rookie competitor who is running strong initially in this event. Funky Karen takes a look to the low side of Brett Rollins, and he is successful in taking 3rd. Rollins drops back to the 4th spot, with Gary Knight currently rounding out the top 5 as we have now approached the halfway point. It continues to be Jerry Marquis. Tries to hold off Funky Karen in the battle for position number 2, but Karen is looking strong. Rollins is 4th. Gary Knight holding off Jeff Zeidema in the battle for the 5th spot. 7 laps now complete. Marquis extends the lead over the 3 Vermont, and we've got more trouble as Payne goes around and out comes the yellow flag. Payne went spinning right in front of our leader, Jerry Marquis. Marquis was able to avoid. In fact, the entire field avoided the Payne car, but Billy Dunn takes the necessary precautions and brings out the yellow flag. It's 3 Vermont. And Funky Karen coming on strong in the 88 as they go through turns 3 and 4. Billy Dunn waves the green. There's that battle for the 2nd spot. Is able to hold off Karen as they go down the back straightaway with 2 laps to go. Gary Knight Jr. coming on strong with car number 8 as he is up to the 4th spot. And the white flag is out this time by for Jerry Marquis. Brett Rollins looking to move back in on Knight to regain the 4th spot. But I don't think he's going to have enough time as they come around now for the checkered. It's Marquis with the win. Was involved in a serious mix-up last week here at Monadnock Speedway. He's back, and he starts to the outside of row 1. As they head through turns 3 and 4, we're looking for a green this time around, and we've got one. Down into the turn, it's good enough, taking the initial lead. Reynolds holding on to that 2nd spot. Here comes Boniface down low in the 27, moving in on GT Gravel. Battle for position number 3, as we've got 2 cars coming together in trouble over turn number 4. Dave Smith and John Corliss bring out the yellow flag on lap number 1. Last week's feature event winner, car number 27. Lenny Reynolds, G.G. Gravel, Dave Salzarillo, Mike Parks, and Jeff Beckwith. 7 cars in this qualifying round. Here they come. Good enough on Boniface. We've got a green. Good enough. Again, leads them down into the 1st turn and off the 2nd turn. As they go down the back straightaway, Boniface holds on the high side. Gigi Gravel moving in with car 54. The top three begin to pull away already as Boniface gets a little sideways. He holds on, and Gravel hangs back just a bit. Salzarillo has moved into the fourth spot with Parks fifth, Lenny Reynolds sixth, and Jeff Beckwith rounding out the field in car 60. Boniface looking to make a move on the inside of good enough as they go through turns 1 and 2. Now down the backstretch into turn number 3 they go. The top three still run bumper to bumper, nose to tail as they head down into turn number 1. Here comes Gravel with a move to the high side of Boniface. Boniface shuts the door. Now Gravel's going to look to the low side of the racetrack. Again, Boniface shuts the door as good enough holds on to the lead. Halfway marker is out this time by, and Boniface gives good enough a tap, letting him know that he'd like to take over the lead. Now Gigi Gravel looks back to the high side of Boniface. Can't find the racing room. Can't seem to get a good fight. Now he does as they head off the turn. Boniface tries to shut the door, but Gravel really moving in, coming out strong on the high side with a 54. That top three continues to run nose to tail, and good enough holds off a challenge from Jim Boniface, while Boniface tries to hold off a challenge from Gigi Gravel. 2 laps to go this time by, and it is car number 1 New Hampshire. Good enough leads them down the back straightaway. Boniface looking to make one last minute move as the white flag waves. Come through turns 3 and 4 off the turn, and checkered flag is out. It's good enough with the win. Pro stock qualifying heats go into the record books as Lenny Reynolds still tracks it over in turn number 1. It's Rob Goodenough with the win, car number 1 New Hampshire. Jim Boniface will finish in position number 2, Martin Leary. And rounding out the field, car number 34, rookie Roger Shepard. Now they head through turns 3 and 4. Patno and Joe Sumner as green flag is out. Down into the turn, Sumner on the high side. Patno has the advantage down low. Here comes Brio to the low side of Patno. As they go down into turn number 3, he tucks the nose of the 29 junior. Underneath, Patno now gets totally alongside, and off the turn, Brio will lead lap number 1. Has moved into that second spot. Lucas Barry Gray all the way up into the top 5 already with car 24 as Patno tracks it just a bit off the turn, and he drops back to 4th. Barry Gray, the 29, moves into the 3rd spot. He gets a little sideways off the turn, but he holds on to that position as now Tom Stone is looking to move in on Brio. Brio, Stone, Barry Gray, and Joe Sumner. Along with Travis Stone moving up nice with car number 3. Halfway marker is out this time around. Brio leads Tom Stone. Barry Gray all alone in that 3rd spot. Car number 3, we do believe is Ed Stone, and we've got trouble off of turn number 2. Third throw goes around, yellow flag is out. Field and the 29 junior with Tom Stone right alongside. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. Billy Dunn waves the green, they're off and running, and it's Brio leading them down into turn number 1. Barry Gray looking to move into the 2nd spot as he heads to the low side of Tom Stone. Stone shuts the door as they go into the turn. Here comes Ed Stone up high in car number 3. Off the turn. Tom Stone now really beginning to pressure Eddie Brio as Barry Gray has moved into a definite third with Ed Stone in fourth. 2 laps to go this time by. It's Brio and Stone continuing to lead this field. Stone now looking to make a move to the inside of Brio as they go through turns 1 and 2, but he is unsuccessful so far. But as they go through turns 3 and 4, he's right on Brio's back bumper as the white flag is in the air. Stone moves to the high side as they go into turns 3 and 4. He drifts up just a bit. Checkered flag is out. It's Brio with the win.
My new tire working. The tire I put on the white side.
Car number inside him, car number 28 for Ted Chalmers. The 26 of Bucky Demers rounds out the field as we're set to go to green. For late model qualifying heat number 2, Robbie Bouchard sets the pace. Green flag is out. Down into the turn, Bouchard puts the 48 out in front. And we've got trouble as Newcomb and Sutherland come together over turn number 2. Sutherland goes down through the infield, comes back out onto the track as we're about to complete lap number 1. It's Robbie Bouchard on top with car 48. The 87X of Al Fitzgerald runs in the second spot. Fitzgerald looking to move in on Bouchard. Waytack holds off Bill Bree for third, followed by Bob Newcomb in fifth. Sixth is Jarvis. Seventh is Chalmers, who has just passed Vassura, who falls to 8th. Murillo is 9th and Demers is 10th. Coming around now to complete lap number 2, it's still the 48 of Bouchard. Here comes Fitzgerald to the low side of the racetrack with car 87X. He moves into content off turn 2, and as they go down into turn number 3, it's Fitzgerald taking the lead with car 87X. Bill Bree now moving in on Bouchard, battle for the second spot. Bree takes the spot just like that, and Bouchard drops to third, but is still in contention as he looks to move back in on Bree. Halfway marker is out this time around. Fitzgerald down the back straightaway continues to lead. Bree runs in the second spot. Contact between Jarvis and Newcomb. Newcomb goes high off of turn number 4, but he holds on to his position. Quick rundown of the field. It's Fitzgerald, Bree, Bouchard, Newcomb, Jarvis, Tack, Chalmers, Vassura, and Bucky Demers, along with Jay Perillo and Dave Sutherland Jr. 2 laps to go this time by. It's Fitzgerald continuing to lead. Bree runs in the second spot. Bouchard holds on to third as that battle for 4th heats up. Peter Jarvis and Bob Newcomb dicing it up for that 4th spot. Jarvis takes the spot as they head off turn number 2. White flag in the air. It's about to be checkered as Fitzgerald takes the win. Qualifying heat number 2 for the late models goes into the record books. In hard luck during the 1991 racing season, he starts to the inside of row number 1 for modified qualifying heat number 1. Here they come into turns 3 and 4. Kenny Isamo gives them the green and they're off and running. Brown goes off into the early race lead. Here comes Jack Bateman down low on Schofield in the battle for position number 2. Now Schofield heads to the high side of Brown. Brown gets a little bit out of shape as they go down the front straightaway. He holds on to his spot. And here comes Jack Bateman looking to move in on the outside. Bateman puts the pedal to the metal on the high side of Brown. Off the turn they come. Brown holds on to the spot to lead another lap. Bateman now really putting the pressure on it. He looks to the low side. But Jim Lawford Jr. blocks his view, and now Bateman's got to try it again. Contact between Maroka and Ron Levesque as they go through turns 3 and 4. Both drivers continue as Baroka goes on to 4th. Brown and Bateman continue to lead this field. Brown appears to be fighting the wheel. He could have a handling problem, but despite the handling problem, he runs very, very well with car number 92. Ray Townsend showing signs of smoke as he heads off the turn. Consultation flag for him. He goes into the infield. Back up front, we're watching this battle for the lead. It's Brown on the high side. Here comes Bateman down low. Ryan Schofield hanging back just a bit in that 3rd spot with Ron Levesque in 4th. Here they come. Bateman looking to the inside of Brown one more time. He's really putting the pressure on Ted Brown, who does a fine job holding on to the lead as we now have 2 laps to go. Bateman looking to give it one last shot as the white flag comes out. He tries to squeeze the nose to the inside, but to no avail. Checkered flag is in the air, and off the 4th turn, Ted Brown takes the victory with car number 92. The modifieds have completed qualifying round at number 1, and car number 92, Ted Brown, takes down the win. The 17 of Jack Bateman finishes in a fine 2nd spot. Ronnie Bodge and David Pinkham are the 2 cars that bring this field around. Here they come. Into the turn. Bodge sets the pace. Kenny Eichsmo likes what he sees, and we've got a green. Down into the turn is Pinkham taking the lead with car 16. Here comes Dwight Jarvis down to the high side of Bodge, and Jarvis has position number 2. Ed Kennedy looking to move in on the high side of Bodge. Here comes Rusty Ball to the low side. Paul takes over position number 3. Here comes Monteith. He's got the 4th spot. Trouble off of turn 4. Harry Wheeler goes around with car number 2, but he gets back out as he drives the car into the infield. Apparently a problem for Wheeler. And we've got trouble in turn 3. Ed Kennedy goes around with car number 0. Yellow flag is out as Kennedy is unable to get the car refired in time. And so Kenny Eichsmo takes the necessary precaution to bring out the yellow flag. Well, apparently Dwight Jarvis, they were battling for the lead before the yellow flag fell, so be looking for another battle as they pick up speed through the turn. Green flag is out. Jarvis falls back a little bit and battles with Rusty Ball, but he moves back into the 2nd spot. Ball loses 3rd to Kirby Monteith, who now moves into 3rd. Ball's looking to make a move right back. David Pinkham feels the pressure as he goes down the back straightaway. Jarvis and Kirby Monteith really putting the pressure on. Here comes Monteith down low. He heads to the low side of Jarvis but can't find the racing room, and now he has to back out of it and settle for temporarily running in the 3rd spot. He makes a move back to the low side, and that battle for 2nd heats up as they come off the turn. Down into turn number 1. Monteith puts the entire 85 right alongside Jarvis. Jarvis, however, puts the pressure on Pinkham. As they come off the turn, Pinkham drifts up, and Jarvis falls back right alongside Monteith. So Pinkham's got quite a job to do if he expects to hold on to the lead with 2 laps to go. Monteith really coming on strong down low, but Jarvis holds on the high side of the racetrack. They make contact, and we've got trouble off of turn 2. Jarvis gets crossed up. He goes around off the turn. Yellow flag is out. What a tough break for Dwight Jarvis, who got crossed up in that battle for the 2nd spot. Here they come into turn number 3. Pinkham and Kirby Monteith. We've got a green. Monteith makes the move into the 2nd spot. Now Pinkham's got to put up with a real big challenge if he expects to hold on for the win. Ed Kennedy gets a little crossed up. car number 0, but he holds on for dear life and falls back to 6th. Here they come. It's going to be Pinkham and Marquis. Pinkham holds on, and he's got the win. The modifieds round out qualifying heat number 2, and with the yellow flag remains out.
Dave is here, but you...
Here they come into turn number 3. Car number 3, Vermont, sets the pace. Off the turn, we've got a green. Down into the turn, Kenyon is the car that sets the pace, facing the back off of turn number 2. Brett Rollins trying to hold on to second. Here comes GG Gravel down low, and Jerry Marquis already moving in with car 28X. Off the turn, Gravel's got the second spot. Marquis goes high on the good enough car, and he's looking to take over fourth. Hunky Karen also moving up with car number 88. Off the turn, Kenyon leads lap number 2. Down into the turn. Gravel runs second. We've got 2 cars coming together on the front straightaway. Lenny Reynolds tags the wall, and it looks like we're going to go to yellow. Reynolds and Rick Payne got together down the front straightaway, and Reynolds went sideways into the wall as they go down into the third turn. They begin to pick up speed. We've got a green as they come off the turn. Kenyon has the advantage at the line. Gravel now looking to move to the low side. Marquis moves up to third. He's looking to move by Gravel, but Gravel shuts the door. Marquis gives him a tap as they go into turn number 3. Brett Rollins and Funky Karen now battling for the 4th spot, with Karen coming out on top as they go into the 3rd turn. Rollins back to 5th. Salzarillo drops off the pace just a bit with car 71. He gathers it back up as they go into turn number 3. Kenyon now beginning to put a little bit of distance between himself and GG Gravel, along with Jerry Marquis, Hunky Karen, and Brett Rollins, all in the top 5. Salzarillo drops to the infield with car 71. Tough break for him. And we've got trouble on the back straightaway. McLean and Smith get crossed up. McLean drives the 211 down through the infield as Smith is looking to pull away. Here they come. Off the 4th turn, we've got a green. Right off the bat, Jerry Marquis moves in on GG Gravel in the battle for position number 2. Kenyon gets a little sideways. They're tracking it off the turn. And now through turns 3 and 4, Gravel looking to move to the high side of Kenyon. Trouble over in turn number 4. Smith and Reynolds get crossed up. Reynolds is up in the middle of the racing surface. Yellow flag is out as Marquis dives to the infield to avoid Reynolds and Smith, who have gone around over in turn number 4. Now, Brian Kenyon has a brand new challenge as they go down the back straightaway, but the yellow flag remains out. Yellow flag is still out. Once again, Brian Kenyon has a brand new challenge. It's Jerry Marquis with car 28X on the high side of row number 1. Modified feature event. Can he do it this week in the post stocks? We'll find out on lap 35. But right now we're on lap 7 and we're back under green. Kenyon leads him down into turns 1 and 2. He's got the advantage. Here comes Jerry on the high side. They make contact going into turn number 3, and we've got him a little crossed up. Here comes Gravel down low with car 54. He's about to take the lead away from Kenyon as they come off the turn It's Gravel with the advantage down on the inside. Here comes Punky Karen down low on Jerry Marquis. A great battle right up front, and it's GG Gravel with the lead in car number 54. A great move by Gravel as he got by the crossed up Marquis, who again gets sideways and gets crossed up down the back straightaway as he tries to hold off Punky Karen. Gravel now beginning to pull away from Kenyon as Karen and Marquis make a little contact. Here comes Emma down low on Karen. Karen shuts the door as they go into the turn. Battles all over the racetrack. Marquis now moving back in on Kenyon as they go into turn number 3. He's going to take a peek down to the low side of car number 3 Vermont, and Marquis pulls right up alongside Kenyon as they go through turns 1 and 2. Kenyon hangs up on the high side, and Marquis moves in even more. He has the slightest advantage down the back straightaway, but Kenyon is not giving up on the high side. While all this is happening, Gravel has pulled away considerably, and now Marquis has moved into a definite second. Trouble down the front straightaway. Stasakalis goes around. Yellow flag is out. Car number 43 of Dick Stasakalis goes around coming off of turn number 4. And Kenyon to take the lead. Now can he hold off the pressure of Marquis? As they go into turns 3 and 4, green flag is out. Gravel comes off of turn number 4, and we've got trouble. Punky Karen goes around. Brett Rollins gets diced up with car 12. Gary Knight is involved with the 8 machine. The 1 New Hampshire of Rob Goodenough. Also involved in the mix-up here, Kenyon has a flat right front tire. We also have Rollins with some heavy front-end sheet metal damage. Into the pit area goes Kenyon, and Karen follows him down pit road. What a tough break for Punky Karen as well as Brian Kenyon. They were running very impressively among the top 5. At the top of pit road, we see another race car coming back out who picks up speed along with the rest of the field. Here they come, and we've got a green. And Payne goes around in turn number 4 as Marquis runs the high side of Gravel. Payne has stalled over there on the 4th turn, but we are still on the green. Shimoleski gets crossed up. Car number 4 goes down into the infield, but he's back out onto the racetrack. Back up front, that battle heats up as Marquis hangs tough on the high side of Gravel. Marquis looks all over the racetrack to find a way around Gravel, but can't find it right now. But keep in mind that there are still 18 laps left in this event. We have just passed the halfway point. As now Seidema and Boniface battle for position number 3. Marquis makes the move to the inside of Gravel. And we've got trouble off of turn 2. Around goes Kenyon. Yellow flag is out. Into the 3rd turn, GG Gravel and Jerry Marquis. Green flag is out. Down into the turn, Gravel still has the advantage, but here comes Marquis hanging tough once again on the high side. Boniface looking to move into 3rd to take the spot away from Zeidema. We've got trouble in turn number 3. Dave Smith has had no luck at all either this afternoon, and he has gone around up in turn number 3. Our leaders quickly move by him. Kenyon comes back out with car 3 Vermont. He's just in time. The field picks up the pace down the back straightaway. Gravel on the low side, Marquis up high, green flag is out. Down the back straightaway they go. Gravel is out in front. Marquis gets a tap from Boniface. Here comes Saitama down low on Marquis. Saitama looking to move into that second spot as they go through turns 1 and 2. He's down low. Marquis up high. Marquis moves back into the spot as Gravel, while all this is happening, continues to lead. Marquis looking to move back in on car number 54 as they continue their battle for the lead. Marquis tries to go to the low side of the racetrack. Saitama is third, then it's Boniface feeling the pressure from Punky Karen as they go down into turn 3. We've got trouble down the back straightaway. John Corliss goes around with car number 5. Corliss has stopped right in the middle of the racetrack. He pulls off up against the barrier down there on the back straightaway, and he pulls off to avoid. But the yellow flag does come out. Down the back straightaway, Gravel and Marquis continue to run side by side. Here they come off the turn. Gravel's got the advantage and green flag is out. Into the turn and off the turn. They come. Marquis runs the high side of the racetrack. Boniface and Saitama waiting in the wings, but it looks like it's going to be Saitama who might be able to find a racing route to the inside of Marquis. As Marquis continues to run the high side of Gravel. As they go into turn 3, he tucks the 28X right behind the 54, and we've got Punky Karen going around with car 88. Karen is another one who has not had a very good afternoon, and GD Gravel has come to a slowdown on the backstretch as Beckwith has gone around. Good enough goes around. There's apparently liquid on the racetrack. Yellow flag is out. Somebody is spilling liquid all over the racetrack, and that's causing everyone to spin. No idea who it is right now, but we know for a fact that someone is spilling liquid. It could perhaps be Punky Karen with the 88, who has gone to the pit area. He is aware of the slippery conditions on the racing surface. Charging Jerry Marquis, awaiting in the wings Jeff Saitama, and a strong running for the second week in a row, Jim Boniface. Green flag is out. Gravel gets a good jump on Marquis and moves back into the lead. Marquis now looking low as Boniface gets up high in turn 2 and opens the door to Rob Goodenough. Goodenough tries to take the 4th spot away from Boniface. He does. Now Pinion moving in on Boniface as they go down into turn number 1. Again, Boniface dirt tracking it through the turns as Mallory goes around in turn number 2. Mallory unable to refire the 1 mast as we are still under green, but I think if he sits there a little bit longer, we're going to go to yellow. Nope, he pulls away, so we've got 5 laps remaining in the competition. It's Gravel continuing to lead Marquis, this time with 4 laps to go. Saitama is 3rd, Goodenough is 4th, and Kenyon is 5th, as we now have 3 laps remaining in the competition for the pro stocks. To go this time by Gravel looking for his first win of the 1991 racing season. If Marquis can hold on, he'll have another great run, finishing 2nd for the 2nd week in a row. Here they come now. White flag in the air for Gravel. gun has the checkered flag in hand. Off the turn, GG Gravel has the win with car number 54. Securing his first win of the 1991 racing season, GG Gravel, car number 54 in the victory lane.
Congratulations.
Good job.
Hey, Gigi, it's been a long time. How do you feel about this one? Well, it's a good one to win. It was a long one. I didn't think it was ever going to end. I'm glad it did. How'd the car handle today? It's kind of a warm day for racing. It was a little loose, but it would stay right where I wanted it, so it wasn't too bad. Feel any pressure from Jerry and the rest of them behind you? Yeah, about a ton. Once again, congratulations to your winner, GG Gravel, first of the season. Let's move up the line to our defending champion. Hey, Jerry, tough day today. Yeah, very tough day today. We had a lot of trouble here with the track. Kind of an unfair advantage, I think, at the restarts, but everybody went with a safe race, and everybody's okay, so everything came out all right. We finished second. We had a long ways to go. Now, how do you think things are going to change now? We moved to Friday nights next week. Or actually, we moved to Friday nights this week. Yeah, that's going to change the track quite a bit, I think, because it's going to make the track a little slicker because of the heat won't be on the tar, and we'll see what happens. I think a lot of guys are going to have to do a lot of adjustments. What are you going to do? Go fast, I hope. Okay, Jerry Marquis. And our third place finisher, let's give him a hand. Last week's one of our past feature winners, Jeff Seidema. Jeff had to work hard to stay up where you were today. Yeah, I think we got bent a little bit when Punky and Brian Kenyon got together, but we were able to hold off Jimmy Boniface and end up third. What are you going to do now that we moved to Friday nights? You'll see us up here every Friday night. We're going to run up here. Great. Jeff Seidema, number 3.
Gail Lavoie sets the pace with car 66 as they go into turn number 3. We're ready for a green this time around. Here they come. Jan Stevens waves the green flag. Out in front with a big lead right initially, it's the 66 of Lavoie as Lashaway drops to the bottom of the racetrack to try to hold off Wenzel for second. Wenzel already looking strong with the 0-3 as he heads to the high side of Lashaway in the battle for second spot. The 3X of Stroshine is now running in the 4th position as they're 3 wide down the back straightaway into turn 3. Lorenzetti, Goodhine, and Beef Alexander. Alexander gets crossed up as he makes contact with Goodhine. Off the second turn, Chris Wenzel has just taken the second spot from Chris Lashaway as Stroshine holds on to 4th. Blackmore and Pappy Crowell in a battle for the 5th spot. Here comes Goodhine looking to make it 3 wide once again with car number 3 RD. He moves in right in between Blackmore and Pappy Crowell, and Goodhine moves into the top 5. Blackmore gets crossed up with car number 12. He goes way up high down the back straightaway and loses several positions. They continue to run 3 wide further back in the pack. While all this is happening, Gail Lavoie has a very big lead over Chris Wenzel. Lashaway continues to have a good run for a 3rd spot. In the 4th position, It's now Art Goodhine with car number 3 RD. Here comes Kirk Alexander down low with the 44X. Three wide into turn number 1 with Herb Stevens Jr., Lauren Lorenzetti, and car number 22. Now Stroshine loses a spot to Alexander as we've got trouble down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Lauren Lorenzetti finds himself around the car 41. This coming time around, Lavoie and Wenzel setting the pace. Jan Stevens is about to let them loose. Off the turn, green flag is out, and Lavoie goes back into the lead. Kirk Alexander looking to move in with car 44X. Lavoie is feeling the pressure, as Wenzel also moving back in with car 3. Lavoie drifts up just a bit. Wenzel goes down low and tries to take the spot, but can't quite do it this time, as he now battles with Kirk Alexander for position number 2. Art Goodhine is up to 4th with car 3 RD. He's been perhaps the most consistent car this season, and he continues to show it. Herb Stevens Jr. goes around, and as well Tom Thurston. That's both over in turn number 4. Thurston has stopped on the racetrack, and it looks like yellow is out. Thurston now pulls out of the way as Beef Alexander gets crossed up. He goes around right in front of the 22 and the 41 of Lorenzetti. Lavoie has been feeling the pressure from Wenzel, Kirk Alexander, and now Art Goodhine, who has moved into the 4th spot. Here they come, looking to pick up the pace this time around. Green flag is out. Lavoie and Wenzel side by side off the turn. Down into the first turn they go, and Lavoie has the number 1 spot. She gets a tap from Wenzel, who gets sideways as he goes down the back straightaway and loses 2 spots. Art Goodhine is up to 2nd. Kirk Alexander still runs 3rd. Lavoie's got a brand new challenge now as they go down the back straightaway. It's Art Goodhine, car number 3 RD. Here comes Kirk Alexander looking to regain a spot. Before the restart, Alexander was running ahead of Goodhine, but then when Wenzel got crossed up, Goodhine was able to get ahead of Alexander. Now Alexander goes high in turns 3 and 4. He opens up the door to Wenzel, who's looking to move back into the top 3 with car number 03. The defending mini-stock champion, Fred Felton, looking to move in on the last minute as the white flag is out. Can Gail Lavoie hold off a challenge from Art Goodhine? We will find out in less than 1 lap. Lavoie continuing to hold on. Goodhine on the high side. Here they come. Goodhine, a power on the outside, but the checkered flag is out. It's Gail Lavoie with the advantage. She takes the win. Ladies and gentlemen, she climbs out of the car, Gail Lavoie, with a mini-stock feature event win, car number 66. Well, Gail, let me tell you, it was close at the end. You had to put up with Art Goodhine, who was coming on strong, but you led the whole race and held on.
I'll tell you, the car was getting loose at the end, and I was wondering, I knew they were there because they kept bumping me every time, so, I was just hoping I could hold on. Last week it was really loose, and I lost it completely. I was just hoping this week it would get a little better.
Well, as you can see, it has. Gail Lavoie down here in victory lane, car number 66, the only female competitor at Monadnock Speedway. Now we head on over to our second place finisher, Art Guhine. Art, you came on strong at the end of the event, but came up just short.
Gail was running a good line. She was running Will Rowe inside and tried everything to get her on the outside, but this one went to her.
Well, you maintained second in points, so that's good, with a second place finish, car number 3, Art Guhine. Down here with our third place finisher, Chris Wenzel, who had a great run. Chris?
Yep, finally trying to get the car hooked up. Having a rough year so far. Expected to finish a lot better than we have been. But we'll be in there by the end of the year.
Definitely. Chris Wenzel, one of the best competitors here at Monadnock Speedway, with a hopeful season coming up with car number 03. So there's your top 3.
Next, Mike, on her way back, Gail Lavoie coming up. Should be the 144. That'll be Sumner Chapman. He'll take it up as we get the green. Here they come, waiting for the green. We're off. It'll be Mallet holding the lead. Burgess on the outside. Both of them a little squirrely as they head for turn 3. Burgess dives in first. Mallet stays on the low side. Meany moves to third. It'll be Burgess leading away. Mallet, Meany, followed by Harvey Swan, and on the outside and coming on strong, working toward 5th place. It's Kevin Stymist. We have a spinner in turn 3. Down inside, he backs out of the way, and Burgess will lead the second lap with Mallet, Meany, Swan, and Stymist. Rio goes 6th. 17 is 7th. That's Drew as they battle for that 6th spot. Stymist works the outside of Swan for 5th. He takes it high. Swan will hold on as we complete 3. Burgess with a solid lead. Ron Burgess, John Mallet, Dave Meany pulling away from Harvey Swan and Kevin Stymist. A gaggle of cars, and Stymist takes it way up the banking. Has to get off the gas to stave it. And Swan will hold on to the 4th spot. Steve Drew moves into 5th, fights for Swan for 4th. They bang bumpers down the backstretch. We're going to have a real Donnybrook as they trade paint again coming into turn 4. We've got a spinner in turn 2 and a rear ender. Caution on the track after the 23 and the 11 bang bumpers in turn 2. 5 down. Your leader is Ron Burgess. And Steve Drew, trying to avoid that, spins out of his 5th place spot. Squared off on the backstretch. Don Corliss comes back in to rejoin the field. Here they come for the green. On the gun, it'll be Burgess getting the jump. Mallet, Meany looks to the inside of Mallet to take 2 away. Gets on the bumper of Burgess and has to back off. It'll be Burgess, Meany, Mallet, Stymist. And fighting his way in there now is Tom Curley. Burgess with the lead. Dave Meany moves to 2nd. Stymist and Mallet trade paint off 2. And it'll be Kevin Stymist taking the 89 into 3rd as they come off the 4th turn. Curley loose and can't gain 5th. Six down. Burgess opens up a strong lead on Dave Meany. Stymist goes 3rd. Glenn Brio has moved into 4th past Mallet. Tom Cashman loose off the turn, almost collects the 203. Burgess with a little push going into turn 4. Comes off with the lead. Meany 2nd. Stymist 3rd. 4th goes to Brio. 5th to Mallet. Brio putting the pressure on Stymist. Gets him in the back bumper as they go into the turn. Stymist drifts high. Brio takes 3rd. Spinner in turn 4. Backs off the track and everybody else is by safely. 9 down, working on lap number 10. Burgess still with the lead. Burgess, Meany, Brio, Stymist and Mallet. Tom Curley trying to break into the top 5. Meany heats the tires up off 2, trying to run Burgess down. Burgess has some traffic to contend with now as they come off 4. 11 down. Over halfway, 8 to go when they come around again. Burgess off 4. Meany almost got him, and here's Brio to the inside of Meany for second. Glenn Brio dives low, slides Meany up the banking, and takes over second. After 12, it's Burgess, Brio, Meany. Now Brio to the outside. Glenn Brio pressures Burgess from the outside. Burgess tapes it low, works off the turn and drifts high. Holds him off to complete 13. Burgess under pressure. Bumped from behind by Meany on Brio. Piece of metal falls off Brio's car down the backstretch. We're down to 5 to go. On the outside, Glenn Brio pressuring Burgess, and Burgess is starting to overheat. Steam rising from the overflow pipe. Here's Glenn Brio taking the lead as they come down to complete 15. It's Brio, a hot Burgess, followed by Meany, Stymist, and Curley. Ron Burgess is going to have to say goodbye to this race if that steam continues to rise as Meany dives underneath. He's losing power badly, and here's the black flag for your early leader. And Ron Burgess is going to have to pull it out. The leader is Brio coming off turn 2 at 29. Dave Meany goes second in the 15. 2 laps remaining now, 2 to go. Burgess trying to hold his spot, but Stymist will move him out of there. Brio, your leader, with 1 to go. The 29 takes a white flag. Glenn Brio. Dave Meany second. Stymist, Curley. Burgess can't keep it up any longer, and Mallett's going to take the spot from him. Down for the checkers. Here he comes. The 29, Glenn Brio. Dave Meany for second. Third to Stymist. Curley fourth. Mallett fifth. And half of Winchester is coming over to congratulate him. Baldwinville, Winchester, Templeton, they're all here. Let's turn you around for a second. Here's your winner, Glenn. Looked like you had a runaway for a minute, and then they started to close in on you. I mean, he was putting some pressure on.
Yeah, well, we want to just get out front and try to save our tires for next week because this class don't pay a whole lot, so we got to run about 6-7 weeks on our tires. But with a lot of sponsor help from Heber Brothers Racing Engines and Toy Town Auto Salvage, it'd be just about impossible to ever win a race. So I'd like to thank them, and I'd like to thank all the fans that come out on this hot Sunday. Thank you.
How do you win a race with so many people in the car with you?
Just turn left at the end of the straightaway.
There's Glenn Brio, your winner. Second place finisher. Tried hard to get it, Dave, but wasn't quite enough today, huh? No, I just slacked a little bit, or more like a lot, but trying to hang in there. Looked like you were smoking the right an awful lot this afternoon. A little handling problem? Yeah, I've been fighting a handling problem with this, it seems, all year, and sometimes you think you're gaining and you find you step backwards. I just keep driving at it, that's all I can do. Okay, your second place finisher, Dave Meany. And our third place finisher, Stush. You had to work your way out of the back this time and fight your way up through.
Yeah, it's pretty loose. Car was loose, and it was pretty rough in there, but pulled through.
You had a couple of bumps, I noticed, on the left fender here a couple of times and rode it high. That was still enough to get you back into third spot.
Oh, yeah. We had to work at it, but we made it.
Congratulations. Could be yours next week. There's Stush.
42, Joe Sumner. The Sumner Marion Racing Enterprises machine on the outside of row number 1 as we get set to go to green. Kenny Isimo will stare them down. He begins to wind them up. Off the turn, green flag is out. Patnell leads them down into the turn with Bouchard moving into second. Bouchard's not through yet though. He's going to come down low, try to take over the lead from Patnell as they go into the turn. Bouchard has the advantage down low, and he comes around to lead lap number 1. Patno tries to hold on to second, but Sumner continues to run strong with Chalmers moving up nicely with car number 28. Our point leader, Tom Stone, now beginning to work his way through the pack as he passes Wayne Tack. Stone now up to 6th as he looks to the inside of Al Fitzgerald as Joe Sumner takes a peek down to the low side of Scott Patno, and Sumner has position number 2 as they come off the turn. Patno gets way up high. He makes contact with the back straightaway barrier. And Tom Stone goes around in turn number 3. He drives the car down to the infield, sliding through the third, and brings it back up onto the racetrack. Tough break for Stone, who is moving up nicely in the early stages of the event. Robbie Bouchard continues to have a very big lead with car number 48 as they go off turn 2. Herb Job goes to the infield with car 16. Tough break for him. Ted Chalmers is up to 2nd. Al Fitzgerald is 3rd. Bill Bree and Joe Sumner battle for 4th. Bucky DeMers is in trouble in turn number 4. He gets sideways down to the infield and brings the car back out onto the racetrack. Meanwhile, Chalmers and Fitzgerald battle for that second spot. Trouble down the back straightaway. We've got Meany and Sutherland Jr. going around as the yellow flag comes out. Meany got some help as he went around down the back straightaway, and Sutherland, with no place to go, just went up into the dirt banking with a puff of dirt, going around with car 1 New Hampshire. Al Fitzgerald, Bill Bree, and the 4 Peter Jarvis. Bouchard sets the pace as they now go into turn number 3. Green flag is out, and off the turn, Bouchard and Chalmers run side by side. Down into turn 1, Bouchard gets out in front with the advantage. Bob Newcomb goes high off of turn number 2, and he drifts up just a bit, opening the door to Roger Shepard. Back up front, it's still Bouchard, now putting a little distance between himself and Ted Chalmers. Al Fitzgerald holds on to that 3rd spot. Here comes Jarvis and Eddie Brio Jr., all in the top 5. Trouble down the front straightaway. Bill Bree spins to the infield with car 68. A tough break for last week's feature event winner, Bill Bree, as he has come to a halt into the infield. Meanwhile, out in front, it continues to be car number 48, Robbie Bouchard, running just ahead of Ted Chalmers. Actually, he's put quite a bit of distance between himself and second place runner Chalmers. Al Fitzgerald looking to move into the second spot. If he can get around Chalmers, that's exactly what he will do, as we have now gotten to the halfway point. Scott Patno has a flat left front tire as he hobbles down the back straightaway. Here comes Eddie Brio Jr. down to the low side of Pete Jarvis. Brio about to take 4th, but Jarvis comes right back on a high side. Tombstone and Headstone make contact as they go through turns 3 and 4. Family rivalry here as Ed Stone shuts the door. Tom tries to get by, but cannot. Bucky DeMers goes a lap down with the number 26. He gets in front of our leaders, but pulls out of the way. And we've got trouble on the back straightaway. There's a piece of debris. It appears to be a spring floating up into the barrier in turn number 3, and Jay Ferrillo has pulled into the infield with car number 11, Vermont. It's been a tough season for rookie Ferrillo, who has now pulled down into the infield, but he is now looking to head to the pit area. We're looking for a green this coming time around. Bouchard not ready to set the pace. Yellow is out. Here they come into turn number 3. Robbie Bouchard setting the pace with Ted Chalmers alongside. Al Fitzgerald already ready to move in as the green flag comes out. Bob Newcomb pulls off the pace just a bit with car 7, New Hampshire. Eddie Brio Jr. heads to the high side of Al Fitzgerald. They're battling for position number 3 with 10 laps to go. Bouchard continuing to lead the field with Chalmers running in the second spot. Fitzgerald and Brio really slugging it out for that position number 3 as Brio gets a little sideways. He drops back to a battle for position number 4 with Peter Jarvis, driving car number 4. Off the turn, Jarvis has the advantage at the line for 4th, but Brio will not give up on the high side as they have a couple of stones right behind him, Ed and Tom, with Roger Shepard right there to contend. As well, Barry Gray, car number 29. Matt Weaver pulls into the infield with car 69, as well Bob Newcomb. Off the turn, Chalmers leads Fitzgerald in the battle for 2nd. Right behind them, Jarvis has to put up with Brio and Tom Stone to hold on to 4th. Consultation flag being given to Dave Sutherland Jr. with car 1 New Hampshire as he now begins to pull off the pace. Bouchard with a very big lead over Chalmers. Chalmers with a little bit of distance between himself and Al Fitzgerald, and we've got contact between Brio and Tom Stone as they dirt track it through turns 3 and 4. Stone holds on to his position as Brio falls back behind Ed Stone, who's now trying to take a position away from Tom. Less than 3 laps to go for Bouchard, continuing to hold on to the lead in this event. Bouchard has had nothing but hard luck, but he's looking good in this feature event. This will be his first win of the 1991 racing season. White flag is out this time by Bouchard. Chalmers, Fitzgerald, Jarvis, Tom Stone, Ed Stone, Ed Brio Jr., Roger Shepard, Barry Gray, and Wayne Tack. Kenny Isimone is now done waving the yellow flag, and now the checkered is out. It's Robbie Bouchard with the win in car number 48. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. The winner of our late model feature event with car number 48. Well, Rob, it's been a tough season for you, but you come home today and you get a feature event win.
Yeah, we made a few adjustments at heat time. We weren't really running that good. My crew chief made an adjustment. We really got hooked up for the feature, thank God.
Well, you were looking great out here. Who would you like to thank for this win?
Well, my new owner this year is Jerry Todd. He put the car together, and we really finally got it going good this week.
All right, it's great to see Robbie Bouchard down here in victory lane after a tough season so far. Now we come over to our second place finisher, Ted Chalmers. Ted ran strong, held on to second the whole race.
Yes, I did. I couldn't beat Robbie Bouchard today. It was real quick. He got good equipment and did an excellent job. I was just happy to hold off my fellow competitor here, Al Fitzgerald, and all the rest. I was happy with second.
All right, Chalmers finishing a fine second spot. And now Al Fitzgerald, who also had a pretty tough season so far, but today he finishes in the top 3. Al?
Well, we appreciate, man. I do a lot of help to my crew, and you don't ever get by Teddy when he's driving like that. he's good.
Once again, your top 3. Car number 48, Robbie Bouchard, the 28 of Ted Chalmers, and the 87X of Al Fitzgerald.
Townsell and Jarvis, Marquis, and Lebec. Here they come, looking for the green. Brown gets the jump, and it'll be a weak green. Baroka can't stay with him. Watch for the yellows to come back on again. And they will. We'll have another restart. As Monteith and Ed Kennedy come together on that restart. Main event, here they are, there's the green. Brown breaks away with Pinkham. Jarvis, Maroka. Ball and Marquis on the inside. Maroka will fade to the rear. Teddy Brown leads him into turn 4. It's Brown, Pinkham, Jarvis, Marquis, and Monteith. Teddy Brown leads the way. Jarvis starts to challenge Pinkham on the outside, and here he comes. Jarvis working the outside of Pinkham for second place. Marquis goes fourth. Monteith fifth. Ed Kennedy is sixth, and Rusty Ball goes seventh. Brown, your leader after 2. Ted Brown, Dwight Jarvis, Pinkham, Marquis, Monteith, and Kennedy. Ball, Bateman, Rudolph, and Maroka. 4 down. Brown's getting heavy pressure now. Marquis looks to the outside. Miller pulls off the track, and it's Brown to lead the 5th. Ted Brown holds the low side. Jarvis works the outside. Jarvis down the outside. Into 3. It's Brown, Jarvis, Marquis, and Monteith. And Jarvis grabs the lead after 6. It's Dwight Jarvis, Jerry Marquis, Ted Brown, and Kirby Monteith, Dave Pinkham, and Ed Kennedy. On the backstretch, Jarvis, Marquis. Now Monteith works the outside of Brown. Brown takes him high. They touch wheels. It's Jarvis, Marquis breaking away from traffic. Brown third, Marquis fourth. Pinkham, Kennedy, Ball, Rudolph, and Bateman. Jarvis and Marquis trying to run away and hide. Here comes Monteith around Brown, and this time it's a clear pass. We've got a spinner off turn 1. Tim Maroka up against the guardrail by the pit grandstand. Maroka spinning off turn 1, takes it over to the guardrails. That way to victory lane. Both have had championship belts, so to speak, to wear for this track, and here they come. Jarvis dives low. Brown trying to move inside on the start. It'll be Jarvis, Marquis, Monteith, Brown, and Kennedy. Kennedy on Brown's bumpers. They go in and he spins. Brown holds him off. Ted Brown fighting off Ed Kennedy for 4th spot. Takes him to the wall. Brown moves him out of the way, spins in front of the field, and slides to a stop. Gathers up Pinkham and Rudolph. Ted Brown and Ed Kennedy getting into a shoving match. Kennedy came up the last lap, caught Brown in the bumper and got him loose in the turn. Brown came back and showed him what 42 years of racing experience does when you bang on his bumper. Bang it back. Rusty Ball, Dunk Rudolph, and a few others got gathered up in that one. 4th in the 09, the 5th is Levesque, 6th is Wheeler, 7th is Townsend, 8th is Bodge, 9th is Monteith. On the outside, here's Jarvis on the gas. Looking for a start, there it is. Jarvis gets the jump, Monteith second. Monteith on Jarvis's bumper off turn 2. They're going to sling a little lead here this afternoon. Monteith back on the bumper again as they come off 4. Jarvis leads the way. Monteith second. Bateman third. Schofield up to 4th. 5th is Levesque. Followed by Kennedy and Townsend. Kennedy works the outside, challenges for 5th and takes it away from Levesque. He'll try to run down the leaders. Marquis still trapped in traffic. Jarvis opens up 2 car lengths on Monteith into 3. Monteith closes down to half off the turn. Jarvis has the power coming out. Rudolph trying to pick his way around Levesque for 5th. Levesque a little squirrely, they get by. comes Marquis and Rudolph trying to run down the leaders. Marquis goes to the outside to go for 6th. He's got it. And he's got a half a lap to make up in 20 laps. Halfway. Monteith getting into the turn better. Jarvis getting off quicker. Peyton at 3rd. Here's Kennedy. And Marquis ready to go at it for 5th place. The battle is for 5th on the backstretch. Ed Kennedy trying to hold off Jerry Marquis. Marquis to the inside. He has 5th place. 20 laps down, 15 to go. Your leader is Dwight Jarvis in the 28. Monteith goes 2nd. Bateman 3rd. Schofield 4th. 5th is Marquis. 6th is Kennedy. Rudolph 7th. Lodge 8th. 9th is Townsend and 10th is Wheeler. 10 cars on the lead lap. Levesque having trouble with the handling as Marquis goes by. The leader's about to put a lap on the 9th place car. 8 cars left on the lead lap. Here's Jarvis working his way around John Cole. Monteith on his bumper. Marquis trying to run him down. 10 to go, this time by. Here's Monteith to the inside of Jarvis. He shuts him down. Monteith tries the inside again, off 2. 9 laps to go, and they're slinging lead off the 2nd turn, the 4th turn. Monteith looks low again. He's inside. They touch. Here's Monteith. Jarvis drops low. Monteith back to the inside again across the stripe. Jarvis cannot hold it down. Monteith pressures him from the inside. Monteith back again. Down low. Jarvis shuts him off. Look out. Trouble in turn 2. Now they've got slower traffic coming up. Levesque very squirrely off the turn. Monteith stays on Jarvis's bumper. Bateman 3rd. Schofield 4th. Marquis 5th. 5 laps to go. Monteith back to the inside. Jarvis holding off. The laps tick down. We're down to 4. Here comes Monteith again. Marquis cannot break out of the 5th spot. He tries the inside on Bateman. It has the door shut. To the line. 3 laps to go. Monteith, Jarvis fighting for the lead. Bateman has lost 3rd spot. Schofield 3rd. Marquis 4th. Bateman 5th. Off turn 2, your leaders coming down to take the white flag. Here they are. 1 lap to go. Dwight Jarvis, Kirby Monteith. Monteith tries him again. Jarvis works traffic, comes down. Dwight Jarvis will have the checkers. Monteith goes 2nd. Schofield will take 3rd. Marquis 4th and Bateman 5th. Been banging bumpers with each other for 18 seasons. In a moment, he'll be out. Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, your modified winner, Dwight Jarvis. Talk about a hard afternoon's work, Dwight. Boy. Well, how do you feel? You had Kirby I think, literally on your bumper a couple of times.
Yeah, I knew Kirby was behind me and he was real fast. He has been all year, and I didn't want to lose it like I did last year, 1 lap to go, so I just did my hardest, keep it on the bottom.
This Macbeth's engine's doing a job for you this year, too. It looked real quick off the corners.
Yeah, this Macbeth motor is a real fine motor, and the people at Macbeth's are real fine people, and they do a lot for me. And if it weren't for the sponsors we've got, and I guess in the pit crew, they work real hard, we wouldn't be here right now.
Well, you're here, and looks like maybe a couple more before the season's over. Let's see, how many do we have in here? 1, 2, 3,
4, counting today.
Dwight Jarvis, your winner this afternoon. I'll see if we can find it before he runs for the beer garden. Our second place finisher, boy, you gave it everything you had. You worked the inside real hard.
Yeah, I thought maybe I should have given him a little thump.
Just one?
One big one.
Well, after last...
It was a good race. It was great. It's good to run with Dwight. He's a good guy to run with.
Well, it's funny because you both started in the same stables a long time ago. Rookie of the Year 2 years in a row, each of you out of the Hashton Brothers stables years ago. And you must know each other's moves pretty well by now.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good. You were pretty dejected last week. I ran into you in the pits and you had a kind of sour look and said you lost another motor. How do you feel about this one?
Well, we're having trouble with this one overheating, but it will be all right. We're just having a little run of bad luck, that's all.
Kirby Monteith finishing second. You'll see him in victory lane again. All right, Brian Schofield, you watched a pretty good race ahead of you today.
Yeah, they were kind of running away from me a little bit. We were hanging on for third. It's been a rough year. Finally starting to get it to come around a little bit.
It looked good. You were coming up through traffic and caught a couple of breaks when we had some problems partway through the race, but the car seems to be doing the job for you.
Yeah, it's getting there. Coming out for the start of the race, the bolt fell out of the front end. That's why we had to go to the pits and start in the rear, but we'll be back next week.
It wasn't one of those $40 bolts either, right?
Nope.
Brian Schofield, your third place finisher.